Hello and welcome to an algebra tutorial video going over exponent properties. In this one, we're going to actually do a couple examples of applying the product property and working with exponent expressions and being able to simplify expressions, make them a little bit nicer to work with. So here I've got the first one. We've got negative 2a to the third power. All is multiplied by 5a to the sixth power. So let's write this in expanded form and let's think about what we have going on here. So I've got negative 2 times a to the third and multiplication, I don't need the parentheses, so I'm going to put multiplied by 5 times a to the sixth. Now let's rearrange this using the commutative property. It doesn't matter the order in which I multiply things, so we can write it a little bit friendlier. Let me get this here. Let's do red. So I can think of this as negative 2 times 5. Let's do the actual numbers first. And then we'll do the a's times a to the third times a to the sixth. Okay, so hopefully the colors actually make this look pretty obvious, but we do the real numbers first, and then you do variable by variable separately using our exponent properties. So looking at this, negative 2 times 5, that's pretty easy. That's going to be negative 10. So I got negative 10 times, now let's look at our variable a. I've got a to the third times a to the sixth. Well, I can think about that as 3a's times 6 more a's. Adding the exponents together, 3 plus 6 means I'm going to have a to the ninth. So we've just simplified this expression into negative 10 times a to the ninth power. This is much smaller, it's easier to work with. I only have one variable instead of two a's in different spots. So if I was to evaluate this, if I needed to put numbers in for a, if I was to apply this to other expressions, it's a whole lot easier to work with now. Let's do another one. Let's do a little bit more complicated one here. So now I've got 6x to the third, y to the ninth, all multiplied, being multiplied by 3 times x times y to the seventh. So lots of multiplication going on here. Well, again, let's reorder this. So all of this is multiplied, so I could think about this as 6 times 3. Doesn't matter the order in which I multiply things. Now I have x's multiplied. That's x to the third power. By the way, one quick note before I go on. When you see a whole bunch of stuff like this or above here, the exponent is only applied to the number or variable right in front of it, unless there's a parentheses. So when you see like this 3 and then the a, that 3 here does not affect the negative 2. It is only a to the third power. This is only a to the sixth power. It's not 5 to the sixth power as well. If I wanted 5 to the sixth power, I would have to write it like this, 5a, all of it to the sixth power. Then the sixth power would be the 5 and the sixth power would be the a, but that's not what I have. So make sure you're not getting confused by what numbers or variables the power is affecting. Okay, so there we got x to the third, but later on I have x. I've just got 1x right here, right? So let's do x to the third times my 1x. And I've got y to the ninth times y to the seventh. All right, beautiful. Let's think about what's this going to turn into here now. So all I did was write it in expanded form. I put little multiplication dots, and then I rearranged it because with multiplication it does not matter the order, and I just combined the real numbers together, 6 times 3 to get 18, and then the variables together, x to the third times 1 more x, that's going to be 4 x's, 3 plus 1 is 4, so that's 18 times x to the fourth. And now the y's, times y to the ninth times y to the seventh, there's going to be 16 y's. 9 plus 7 is 16. So 16 y's all multiplied together. So I can write it as y to the 16th. So there we go. We've just simplified two different expressions using the product property, recognizing when we add the exponents of numbers or variables being multiplied. So hopefully this is helpful for you as you're working on taking expressions, taking examples and exponents and being able to simplify things down and make them cleaner and easier to work with.